So, good afternoon, everyone. So, how are you today? How is the weather at your place? It is rainy ba or sunny day?
Sunny day.
Okay, thank you for that. Before we start, let's have an attendance first. I will call your name and say present if you are here. Okay. Let's start with Kyle Letada,
Present.
Kailin Letada,
Present.
Maria Enrica Luna,
Present.
Tristan Luna,
Present.
Maria Ivanica Sai,
Present.
and Scarlett Sai.
Present.
Okay, thank you for your attendance. Wow, it's all perfect for today. So before we start our new lesson for today, may I ask what was our topic last week? May I call or voluntary? So the first question is what was our topic last week? So may I call Maria Enrica Luna? Maria Enrica, are you here?
Ako po ba?
Yes, from Maria Enrica Luna. So you answer our first question. What was our topic last week?
Literature po.
So again, yes, correct. It's literature. And what is literature? Hello?
Ako po rin po.
Yes, yes.
Literature broadly is any collection of written work, but it is also used more narrowly for writing, specifically considered to be an art form, especially prose, fiction, drama, and poetry.
Okay. Thank you for that answer. It is correct. And the next question is how the literature helps in our culture. May I call Scarlett? Scarlett?
Hello po.
Yes. My question is how the literature helps in our culture. Hello? Scarlett, are you still there? So I think walang signal si Scarlett or baka mahina yung connection. And let's call Letada. Kyle Letada. So how the literature helps in our culture?
Literature allows a person to step back in time and learn about life on earth from the ones who walked before us.
Again?
Literature allows a person to step back in time and learn about life on earth from the ones who walked before us.
Okay, thank you so much. And now we will proceed to our topic, which is the prose versus poetry. So what is poetry? So poetry is derived from the word poiesis, or in English, it's making. It is the qualities of language, and it also called such as the poena aesthetics, sound symbolism, and the meter to evoke the meanings. So it also a literary composition written by the poet. It also uses the force of the conventions to suggest the differential interpretations of words or to evoke the emotive responses. So in short, that So in short, it is a form of the literature that use the aesthetic and the rhythmic. So when we say aesthetic, it is a branch of the philosophy that part of the natures that see the beauty and the taste of the point of the poem. So so next is it is also unique to particular culture and genres to respond the characteristic of the language in which the poet writes. So in the globalist words, poets often adopt forms, styles, and technique from diverse cultures and languages. So it is also the poetry is also important in our culture and genres because we all know in our new generation, many students of make this kind of poetry. So, so for a moment, please. Sorry for that. So in short, that the poetry is also a specific response of the emotional through language, and it is also arranged by a meaning, sound, and rhythm. So, naintindihan po ba?
Opo.
Okay, thank you po. So we have a types of the poetry. Can you read Maria Ivanica Sai? Maria Ivanica, are you there? Maria Ivanica? Okay, if I take mahina yung signal ni Ivanica, let's call Aika to read the types of the poetry.
Haiku, free verse, and
Again,
haiku po, free verse, and ballad po.
okay. So, haiku, we have the haiku, free verse, and ballad. Actually, there are lots of types of the poetry, but I think this is the three is the best for the types of the poetry. So, we have the haiku. It is an ancient form of the Japanese poetry that has become very popular all over the world. So the haiku developed from the hokku. So it has the opening three lines of a longer poem known as a tanka, and the haiku has a separate form of the poetry in the late 17th century. So the example of this one of the haiku is we had the Master Yosabo Buson's comparison of the singular candle with the starry wonderment of the spring sky and a poppy blooms. So it is a part of it is a kind of the ancient Japanese poetry that is also a popular all over the world. So next we have the free verse. So it is a popular modern style of poetry, as its name suggests that there is a fair amount of the freedom when it comes to writing a poem. So it is a kind of the modern style that came from the French, and it also have it also consistent of any meter patterns, the rhyme, or any musical pattern. So it also followed the rhythm of the natural speech. So what is the example of the free verse? So we have the red wheelbarrow, because it also a kind of free verse, because it has no meter. It has a lines of the any length. Okay, next we have the ballad. So ballad is an old and traditional form of the poetry that typically tells dramatic or the tragic story. So we, as of now in our generation, more even though it is modern, we are in the modern world. Many students or people still use the ballad, because it is again tells the dramatic or the tragic story. So we have the example of this is the La Belle Dame Sans Mercy by the Thomas Hardy's. So it is a sad and a tragic story that it is, but it is also a traditional. So because it is also have the folk, it has a culture of folk that has been until now orally passed from the new generation. We have wait, next. So again, what we will proceed to prose. So any questions about the poetry or may tanong po ba?
None po.
And so far, okay, thank you for answering. And we will proceed to the prose. So can you read Kailin?
Prose is a spoken language that typically exhibits the natural flow of speech and grammatical structure. The word prose appears in the 14th century, and it is derived from the Old French, which in turn originates from Latin prosa oratio, literally straightforward or direct speech.
Okay, thank you for that, Kaylin. Prose is also a part of the literature because it has a natural flow of the speech and the grammatical structure. So it also can be written or spoken because it has no metrical structure. So the example of the prose is we have a non-fiction, a parts, I think, sorry, I parts. The parts of the prose is we have the non-fiction and the non-fiction, and non-fiction and the fiction. So prose is usually lacks the more formal metrical structure of the verses found in the traditional poetry. It also comprises full grammatical sentences and paragraph, whereas it involves a metrical or a rhyming scheme. So again, more people use also in in the new generation the prose, because again it has no metrical structure. So can you give me an example of the prose? Can I have Letada? Kyle Letada? Kyle?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you give me an example of the prose?
Biography, autobiography, folktale, myth, legend, fable, parable, novel.
Okay, thank you for that. A while ha. Okay. So we have a type of prose. Like I said a while ago, we had a non-fiction and the fiction. So fiction is a creative work, chiefly a narrative work portraying people, events, or places in ways that are imaginary or not strictly based on history or fact. So when you say fiction, it is comes from the people's mind. It is not based on the true story, but it is based on the imaginations of the people, of the people or the author. So um, can you give me an example of the fiction? Can I have Aika?
Ano po ulit yun, ma'am?
Can you give me an example of the fiction? I will repeat. Okay, fiction is a kind of the prose that is not based on the true story. It also based on the imaginations of the person or the author, and it also a false belief. So, can you give me an example of the fiction?
Romeo and Juliet po.
Romeo and Juliet. Okay. Hi, thank you. And that's correct. It also the story of the Romeo and Juliet. Do you know the story of Romeo and Juliet?
Yes po.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So Romeo and Juliet I think, is a tragic story. It has a sad ending because they both died. Right? Am I right? Okay. I'm sorry.
You
No.
always
Po? Yes po. Yes, Tada. So there's no question about the fiction. None. We'll proceed to the next. So we have the kinds of the fiction. We have the novel, the myth, and legend. We also have the fable. So the novel, it is a narrative blend representing a character and action with a degree of realism. So do you think that a novel is a short story or a long story? Anyone?
Sorry po, ma'am. Tama.
Yes? So yes, a novel it is a long story. It has a lot of chapters, and one of these days when the technology is the popular as of now, we have the novel or the app that you can use is the Wattpad. Am I right?
No. No, ma'am.
Yes. Sorry for
Ano, ma'am?
that.
Yung novel po kasi, ma'am,
Typically, ano po, it's a collection of short stories. Hindi
Oh.
siya hindi siya long, hindi siya long stories. Collection lang po siya ng mga short stories that
Okay,
are interconnected as one.
okay, thank you for answering that, Kyle. Yes, it is a short story, but there are some books that has very long chapters. Sometimes it comes up to 300 plus chapters, and I don't see it. I didn't see it in a book, but I can. I see it also. I see it also in the like in the app. So there's a story. There's a novel that it has 300 plus chapters. One book, but 300 plus chapters. So yes, it's correct. Kyle is also correct. It also a short story that has a 1,500 to 3,000 words, but also there are novels that also has 50,000 words. So next we will proceed to the myth. It is a consists of the narrative that play a fundamental role in a society, such as the foundational tales or myth. So myth, as we all know, because they in the bookstore they also have the myth book. So it is a concerning about the early history of the people, or explaining the natural or social phenomenon, and which is involved the supernatural beings or events. So can you give me an example of the myth? Any volunteer? Hello? Can you hear me?
Greek mythology, Poseidon, stories.
Okay.
Irish mythology, Vince City. Japanese mythology, Izanagi and Izanami. Mayan
Okay.
mythology, Huracan.
Okay, thank you for so much for that. Okay. Yes, it is correct. It is a type of the myth. So we will proceed to the I'm sorry, wait. We will proceed to the legend. So legend, it is a traditional story or a group of story that told about the particular person or place. So legend is also a part of fiction, because again, fiction is not based on the true story. It also based on the imaginations on in our minds. So it is a kind of amount of the tale or a saint, but also there are unique property of the place or person that they pick. So can you give me an example of the Filipino legend?
The monkey and the turtle. Why the fish has scales. The story of Piña, Mother Mountain. The
Okay.
necklace and the comb. Carabao and the shell. The
Okay.
man with the coconuts.
Okay, thank you for that. I think always si Kyle lang sumasagot sa akin. Si Kyle lang ba ang estudyante ko dito? I don't see any voices or any raised hand para sumagot sa mga question ko. Okay, that's correct. Thank you for answering. Kyle, it is correct. So next we will proceed to the fable. It is a narrative story featuring the animals that behave and speak like the human beings, told in order to highlight human follies and weaknesses. So it's a part of the fiction also that in the book, mostly the kids or the children are usually like to read this one, because it is includes the animals that they have speak or they like talk like a human beings. So my questions for this is: Peppa Pig is a fable? Can I call Can I call Ivanica? Ivanica.
I think po,
Yes?
no po, ma'am.
No? No? Yes or no?
No po.
Why did you say no? Can you explain me? Okay, later I will ask some question about that. So, how about the others? It is a fable or not? How about Scarlet?
Meron naman.
Yes, Scarlet.
Wait.
Love.
Yes. Yes, Kyle.
Yes, ma'am. Kasi, ayan nga, narrative from usually featuring animals that behave and speak like a human being. Ang ginagamit naman dun sa, storytelling is, yan, nandyan mismo sa, definition ng fable.
Okay, very good. So thank you for that. Thank you for answering also Nika and Kyle. So yes, Peppa Pig is a part of the fable because again it is a human, it is an animal like speak or talk like a human beings. So we will proceed to the non-fiction. So can you read Aika? What is the non-fiction?
Non-fiction, broad genre of writing that compasses all books that aren't rooted in the fictional narrative. It can be based in the history and biography.
So, okay. So, we will know the difference na. So, thank you, thank you. And nonfiction, it is a kind of a kind of prose that is based on the history or true to life, based on the true story. So, again, kung kanina ang fiction ay hindi siya totoo or based on the imagination, and the nonfiction is based on the true story. So it is a part of where this always have the opinion, the essays, or the biography or journalism of the people, which is also based on the true story. So what is we will proceed to the types of the nonfiction. The types of the nonfiction, we have the autobiography, and I'm sorry, malito. Autobiography and biography. So when we say autobiography, it is a narrative length representing a character or an action with some degree of realism. So it is about the a person life written by that person. So for example, we have the Atomic Habits. The story of this one is about the true to life story, his experience and his realizations and lessons about his life. So that is the example of the autobiography. So it also has the event of his life. It and wait for a while, and it is a kind of the literary genre. So we will proceed to the biography. I'm sorry for this one. Mali yung nalagay ko. It should be biography. Wait for a while. I will edit. Yes, okay na. We'll proceed na. Sorry for that. Namali ako ng tingin. So, biography, it is a detailed third-person account of another person's life story. It contains the basic information about the subject's life, like their place of birth, education, and interest. So in autobiography, it is a person's life written by that person. In biography, it is a someone's life written by someone else. For example, in the biography, I can write my I can write about my life. So that is the kind of biography. When we say autobiography, like Kyle write a story about himself. So about the story of his life. That is the word of the autobiography. So that is the difference between the two. So any questions about the nonfiction?
None.
Okay, Ana, naintindihan lang ba lahat?
Yes po.
Okay, thank you. We will proceed to our activity. So for our activity today, I want you to open your cam if you have an extra tools or gadgets there. So in activity, you will show me a picture of a famous author. In this three person, these are the famous author in the literature. So I want you to show me what their pictures, and I will give you 10 points each for the correct answer. So for a while, yan. So can you show me a picture of William Shakespeare? Ay, nawala. Okay, Aika got a correct answer, so she has a 10 points. How about the others? Okay, Kailin also got a correct answer, so she also has a 10 points. How about the others?
Sa akin din yun. Ma'am, dapat counted as 2 na yun.
I also want you to show me a picture of William Shakespeare.
I did.
Okay, how about Maria Ivanica? May I see the... Okay, thank you for that. Okay, I already see the author. So all of you got correct answer, and all of you will give you a 10 points. So wait for a while. So next we have the William Blake. Can you show me the picture of William Blake? Okay, Maria, Aika, and Kyle got the correct answer. Okay, the two of you got the 10 points. The total of all the activity for today is 30 points. So I hope all of you got the correct answer. Okay. Also, Kaylin. How about Maria Ivanica Sai? Can you show me a picture? Yes, it is correct, Kaylin. Okay, and for the last one of your activity for today, you will search the name. The famous author is Harold Pinter. Okay, Aika got a perfect score for today. Also, Kyle, and yes, it is correct. Yes, thank you. Okay, you all got correct answer. So thank you for the participating for this activity. All of you has got a 30 points for today's activity. So next we will proceed to our assignment. So before we end our class for today, I want you to have an assignment. So we have first search for the autobiography of a famous author. And the second one is make a poem about yourself. So is there any questions about the topic for today? Clarification and suggestion?
None po.
None so far. How about
None
the
po.
others?
None po.
Okay. So before I end our class for today,
Yan po.
okay, thank you. Before I end our class for today, just leave me a quote of the day. Never give up because great things take time. So whatever we will face as of now, problems or anything, we should never give up because everything takes time. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Thank you for attending and also see you next week. Thank you and you may leave now.
Thank you. I love you, ma'am.
Bye-bye po.